Iran's population increased dramatically during the later half of the 20th century, reaching about 75 million by 2011. In recent years, however, Iran's birth rate has dropped significantly. Studies project that Iran's rate of population growth will continue to slow until it stabilizes above 100 million by 2050. More than half of Iran's population is under 35 years old. In 2009, the number of households stood at 15.3 million. According to the Central Bank of Iran in 2012, in 22.5% of Iranian families, all family members were unemployed. Families earned some 11.8 million rials per month on average. According to the OECD, World Bank statistics, population growth in Iran from 1990 to 2008 was 17.6 million and 32%. The literacy rate was 80% in 2007, and 85% in 2008 population. According to the 2011 population census, the population of Iran was 75 million, a fourfold increase since 1956. Between 1976 and 1986, an average annual population growth of almost 4% was reached. But due to decreasing fertility levels, the growth decreased to 1.3% between 2006 and 2011. Vital statistics. UN estimates registered births and deaths. Structure of the population 2006 and 24 October 2011. Table 9. Population and average annual growth by provinces. 2006 and 2011. 1. The population of the provinces of Alborz and Tehran for 2006 and their average annual growth have been calculated based on the data of 2011. Unofficial translation 17. Table 10. Population percentages by province. 2006 and 2011. 1. The population of the provinces of Alborz and Tehran for 2006 and their average annual growth have been calculated based on the data of 2011. Languages and ethnic groups. The largest linguistic group comprises speakers of Iranian languages, like modern Persian, Kurdish, Gilaki, Mazandarani, Luri, Talish, and Baluchi. Speakers of Turkic languages, most notably Azerbaijanis, which is by far the second most spoken language in the country, but also the Turkmen and the Qashqai peoples, comprise a substantial minority. The remainder are primarily speakers of Semitic languages such as Arabic and Assyrian. There are small groups using other Indo-European languages such as Armenian, Russian, Pashto, Georgian, spoken in a large pocket only by those Iranian Georgians that live in Feridun Shah. Most of those Georgians who live in the North Iranian provinces of Gilan, Mazandaran, Isfahan, Tehran province and the rest of Iran no longer speak the language but keep a Georgian conscience. The Circassians in Iran, a very large minority in the past and speakers of the Circassian language, have been strongly assimilated and absorbed within the population in the past few centuries. However, significant pockets do exist spread over the country, and they are the second largest Caucasus-derived group in the nation after the Georgians. Jews have had a continuous presence in Iran since the time of Cyrus the Great of the Achaemenid Empire. In 1948, there were approximately 140,000–150,000 Jews living in Iran. According to the Tehran Jewish Committee, the Jewish population of Iran was estimated at about 25,000 to 35,000. Of which approximately 15,000 are in Tehran, with the rest residing in Hamadan, Shiraz, Isfahan, Kermanshah, Jaz, Kerman, Rafsanjan, Burjad, Sanandaj, Tabriz and Urmia. However, the official 2011 state census recorded only 8,756 Jews in Iran. The CIA World Factbook gives the following numbers for the languages spoken in Iran today: Persian, Luri, Gilaki and Mazandarani 66%, Azeri and other Turkic languages 18%, Kurdish 10%, Arabic 2%, Baloch 2%, others 1%. Other sources, such as the Library of Congress and the Encyclopedia of Islam, give Iran's ethnic groups as following: Persians 65%, Azeris 16%, Kurds 7%, Lurs 6%, Arabs 2%, Baloch 2%, Turkmens 1%, Turkic tribal groups 1%, and non-Persian, non-Turkic groups less than 1%. For sources prior to and after 2000, see Languages and Ethnicities in Iran. Urban population. In addition to its international migration pattern, Iran also exhibits one of the steepest urban growth rates in the world according to the UN Humanitarian Information Unit. According to 2005 population estimates, approximately 67% of Iran's population lives in urban areas, up from 27% in 1950. The following is a list of the 6 most populous cities in the country. Religious affiliations. About 99% of the Iranians are Muslims, 90% belong to the Shia branch of Islam, the official state religion, and about 9% belong to the Sunni branch, which predominates in neighboring Muslim countries. Less than 1% non-Muslim minorities include Christians, Zoroastrians, Jews, Baha'is, Mandaeans, and Yazan. By far the largest group of Christians in Iran are Armenians under the Armenian Apostolic Church, which has between 110,000, 250,000, and 300,000 adherents. There are hundreds of Christian churches in Iran. The Baha'i faith, Iran's largest non-Muslim religious minority with a population around 300,000, is not officially recognized, and has been persecuted during its existence in Iran. Since the 1979 revolution, the persecution of Baha'is has increased with executions, the denial of civil rights and liberties, and the denial of access to higher education and employment. Unofficial estimates for the Assyrian Christian population range between 20,000 and 70,000. The number of Iranian Mandaeans is a matter of dispute. In 2009, there were an estimated 5,000 and 10,000 Mandaeans in Iran, according to the Associated Press, whereas Al Arabiya has put the number of Iranian Mandaeans as high as 60,000 in 2011. Iranian citizens abroad. The term Iranian citizens abroad, or Iranian Persian diaspora, refers to the Iranian people born in Iran and the children but living outside of Iran. Migrant Iranian workers abroad remitted less than $2 billion home in 2006. As of 2010, there are about 4 to 5 million Iranians living abroad, mostly in the United States, Canada, Europe, Persian Gulf states, Turkey, Australia and the broader Middle East. According to the 2000 census and other independent surveys, there are an estimated 1 million Iranian Americans living in the U.S. In particular, the Los Angeles area is estimated to be host to approximately 72,000 Iranians, earning the westward area of LA the nickname Tehrangeles. Other metropolises that have large Iranian populations include Dubai with 300,000 Iranians, Vancouver, London, Toronto, San Francisco Bay Area, Washington, D.C., Buenos Aires, Mexico City, Stockholm, Berlin, Hamburg and Frankfurt. Their combined net worth is estimated to be $1.3 trillion. 43.3% of Iranian youth say they would like to emigrate to another country. Note that this differs from the other Iranian peoples living in other areas of Greater Iran, who are of related ethno-linguistical family, speaking languages belonging to the Iranian languages, which is a branch of Indo-European languages. Refugee population. Iran hosts one of the largest refugee population in the world, with more than 1 million refugees, mostly from Afghanistan and Iraq. Since 2006, Iranian officials have been working with the UNHCR and Afghan officials for their repatriation. Between 1979 and 1997, UNHCR spent more than $1 billion on Afghan refugees in Pakistan, but only $150 million on those in Iran. In 1999, the Iranian government estimated the cost of maintaining its refugee population at $10 million per day, compared with the $18 million UNHCR allocated for all of its operations in Iran in 1999. CIA World Factbook Demographic Statistics. The following demographic statistics are from the CIA World Factbook, unless otherwise indicated. Age structure 0 to 14 years. 21.7% 15 to 64 years. 72.9% 65 years and over. 5.4% 0 to 14 years. 24.1% 15 to 64 years. 70.9% 65 years and over. 5% median age total. 26.4 years male. 26.2 years female. 26.7 years total. 26.8 years male. 26.6 years female. 27.1 years urbanization urban population. 71% of total population rate of urbanization. 1.9% annual rate of change sex ratio at birth. 1.05 male, female under 15 years. 1.05 male, female 15 to 64 years. 1.03 male, female 65 years and over. 0.89 male, female total population. 1.03 male, female life expectancy at birth total population. 70.86 years male. 69.65 years female. 72.72 years total population. 70.35 years male. 68.84 years female. 71.93 years youth literacy definition. Age 15 to 24 can read and write total population. Above 90% male youth. 98% female youth. 98.0% genetics. Y-chromosome Dna. Y-chromosome Dna. Y-DNA represents the male lineage. The Iranian Y-chromosome pool is as follows, where haplogroups R1, J2G, J1, E1, B1b, L, Q comprise more than 85% of the total chromosomes. Mitochondrial DNA. Mitochondrial DNA mtDNA represents the female lineage. The Iranian mitochondrial DNA shows more Western Eurasian lineages than the Y-DNA lineages. Nonetheless, a West Eurasian mtDNA makes up over 90% of the Iranian population on average. Among them, U3b3 lineages appear to be restricted to populations of Iran and the Caucasus, while the subcluster U3b1a is common in the whole Near East region. In Iran, outliers in the Y chromosomes and mitochondrial DNA gene pool are consisted by the North Iranian ethnicities, such as the Gilakis and Mazandaranis, whose genetic buildup including chromosomal DNA are nearly identical to the major South Caucasian ethnicities, namely the Georgians, Armenians and Azerbaijanis. Other outliers are made by the Baloch people, representing a mere 1 to 2% of the total Iranian population, who have more patrilineal and mitochondrial DNA lines leaning towards Northwest South Asian ethnic groups. Levels of genetic variation in Iranian populations are comparable to the other groups from the Caucasus, Anatolia and Europe. People of Iranian ancestry. Tats. The Tats are an Iranian people, presently living within Azerbaijan, Armenia, Georgia, and Russia. The Tats are part of the indigenous peoples of Iranian origin in the Caucasus. Tats use the Tat language, a southwestern Iranian language, and a variety of Persian, Azerbaijani and Russian are also spoken. Tats are mainly Shia Muslims, with significant Sunni Muslim minority. Likely the ancestors of modern Tats settled in South Caucasus when the Sassanid Empire from the 3rd to 7th centuries built cities and founded military garrisons to strengthen their positions in this region. Parsis. The Parsis are the close-knit Zoroastrian community based primarily in India but also found in Pakistan. Parsis are descended from Persian Zoroastrians who emigrated to the Indian subcontinent over 1,000 years ago. Indian census data records 69,601 Parsis in India, with a concentration in and around the city of Mumbai. There are approximately 8,000 Parsis elsewhere on the subcontinent, with an estimated 2,500 Parsis in the city of Karachi and approximately 50 Parsi families in Sri Lanka. The number of Parsis worldwide is estimated to be fewer than 100,000. Iranis in Pakistan and India. The term Irani has come to denote Iranian Zoroastrians who have immigrated to Pakistan and India within the last 2 centuries. As opposed to most Parsis who arrived in India over 1,000 years ago. Many of them immigrated during the Qajjar era, when persecution of Iranian Zoroastrians was rampant. They are culturally and linguistically closer to the Zoroastrians of Iran. Unlike the Parsis, they speak a Dari dialect, the language spoken by the Iranian Zoroastrians in Yazd and Kerman. Their last names often resemble modern Iranian names, however Irani is a common surname among them. In India they are mostly located in modern-day Mumbai, while in Pakistan they are mostly located in modern-day Karachi. In both Pakistan and India, they are famous for their restaurants and tea houses. Some, such as Ardshir Irani, have also become very famous in cinema. Ajam. The Ajam are an ethnic community of Bahrain, of Iranian origin. They have traditionally been merchants living in specific quarters of Manama and Muharrik. The Iranians who adhere to Shiite sect of Islam are Ajam, and they are different from the Huwala, who are Sunnis, and some of them have Arab origin. In addition to this, many names of ancient villages in Bahrain are of Persian origin. It is believed that these names were given during the Safavid rule of Bahrain, i.e., Karbabad, Salmabad, Kazan, Duras, Barbar, which indicates that the history of Ajams is much older. Huwala are the descendants of Persians and Persian Arabs who belong to the Sunni sect of Islam. Huwala migrated from Ahwaz in Iran to the Persian Gulf in the 17th and 18th century.